ton of stuff to do, and it will be up to them to determine how they go about surviving the wasteland. There's a ton of stuff to do, but it's very risky. It's a dangerous, brutal, vicious place, and every scrap will need to be fought for. But what the wasteland does have is a lot of kick-ass vehicles. In fact, the player can drive up to 50 authentic Mad Max vehicles, but more importantly, he gets the chance to make his own iconic wasteland war machine. But we'll get into that a little bit later in the demo. So this Talon that we're after is in this front car right here of this convoy. So let's watch ML chase these guys down, and we'll talk a little bit about car combat in a minute.
Top dog, hollow point! Talon!
So a key feature in our game is car combat. And what's unique about it is a fully physical-based car combat system. And what I mean by that is that instead of pressing a button and doing a particular move or playing some sort of canned animation, we're taking the physical attributes of the car and using that as a weapon. So the weight of the car, the traction of the tire, the horsepower, the tuning of the engine, all play into how the car reacts and how you can use that as a weapon. So ML, get in there, start taking these guys out. Along with the physical aspects of the car, the player also has access to weapons. He can use a shotgun and harpoon, and hopefully we'll see a little bit of this in this combat scenario. No two combat scenarios ever play out the same. In fact, the scenarios we've been playing today, even though it's the same setup, this never plays out exactly the same.
Tough dog, he sputtered and failed! The Talon from the carcass, and I'll do the rest.
Scavenging and looting, very, very important in this game. It allows the player an opportunity to craft and upgrade things for Max and the car. But here, our goal is to grab the Talon from the driver, which is what we're about ready to do.
Scavengers!
This Talon, I'm sure it'll be strong enough to get us past.
Oh, you'll see, Safe! You'll marvel at the damage it does!
Okay, so now that we have the Talon, let's take a look at the map and find our next destination. Emil, can you walk us through the map?
Okay, so the region we're in right now is called the Great White, and it's basically an old dried up seabed. We're interested in this area to the north called the Dead Baron's Pass. All these other icons represent activities, camps and landmarks that the player can take on and explore in the wasteland, so it's quite huge. Not showing our hundreds of random encounters that just wait around every corner. As an Avalanche game, this is not quite huge enough for us, so you will see there are other unnamed regions on this map that we're not talking about today, but we will be happy to talk more about them in the future.
So let's get back to gameplay, identify where we're going by the objective marker, which is, there it is. This gives us a chance to drive through rough terrain. And the player is free to drive anywhere he wants to in this world. But I particularly want to focus on the suspension of the car. The weight and the suspension react quite believably to the rocks and the changing elevation of the terrain. And this realism is a real joy to play and a highlight of our game. So let's just watch the car as Emil drives through here on his way to the Dead Baron's Pass.
Those who rule here seek to kill us and dismantle the magnum opus.
Max has identified a sniper up on the platform. We talked a lot about car combat, and car combat is definitely a prominent feature of the game. But Max is still a quite capable fighter outside of the car. He can use his fists, he can use a knife, he can use his iconic shotgun, and we get a chance to use a thunder stick. Right?
Yeah, let me show you what a thunder stick is.
So sneaking around is not really Mad Max's style. But we still have plenty of opportunities for the player to sneak up on characters. And I believe Emil's going to try and take this guy out quietly. Alright, here we are, the Dead Baron's Pass. This is our destination. If we look through our binoculars, we can see certain elements of the camp. The important thing is, if we follow the road down here, is a gate. And the gate is red. And this is telling us that our car is not capable of ramming through this gate at this time. So we need to go into the upgrade screen and upgrade the car. Emil, can you walk us through that upgrade system?
Yeah, so building and upgrading your own vehicle will be a huge part of the game. So with the help of your mechanic friend Chumbucket, you will build a car known as the Magnum Opus. It's your signature vehicle. In this case, we'll upgrade the ramming by installing a demolition grill to get through that gate. You'll see how the weight affects the car. Basically, every upgrade has an effect on the physical aspects of the car. In this case, the performance will be hampered a bit by the added weight, so we can counteract this by also upgrading the engine. Like so. And we'll upgrade the tires as well. But it's important to us to note that handling and performance is very subjective to every player. So getting the best car in this game will not be about maxing out on every upgrade, but rather fine-tuning the car to your personal playstyle. Basically, we don't want any two players to have a car that looks or feels alike. And there will be a huge amount of customization options.
Before we use our upgraded car and go through the gate, we need to get through some of those defense perimeters outside of the camp. The player has a lot of tactical choices in doing this. He can use his car to ram these things down, he can use his harpoon to pull them down, or he could try and sneak in on foot and sabotage some of the things. But in this case, Emil's going to use his sniper gun, which is attached to the back of his Magnum Opus, his car.
Cars with a long shot.
See that the explosion has set the alarm off in the camp, and these red flares are calling in for backup. Soon other cars will be arriving, so Emil needs to quickly take out this guy here. And since Emil likes to blow shit up, he's going to go ahead and take out this guy ringing his bell by shooting the tank next to him. And now that we've destroyed everything, which is really how we like to do stuff, we're going to bust through the gate and get inside Dead Baron's Pass. of stuff in this game, but we can't show everything today. But we put together a quick preview of things to come, so let's take a look at that. Finally, a Mad Max game, right? Thanks a lot for coming. Enjoy the rest of the show at E3. Bye-bye.